You feel it, don't you? That sinking weight in your chest every time you care too much. Every time you give and give until there's nothing left of you while others take and take without a single moment of hesitation. You've been trained your entire life to believe that empathy is your greatest strength, but what if I told you that in the game of power empathy is the single most dangerous weakness you can possess? The truth is uncomfortable and it cuts deep because you know somewhere in the back of your mind that your kindness has been used against you more times than you can count. You've been played, manipulated and discarded by people who saw your compassion not as a virtue but as a weapon to wield against you. And today we are going to dismantle everything you thought you knew about empathy and rebuild you into something that cannot be touched, cannot be used and cannot be broken. The greatest deception society has ever sold you is that being good means being weak, but being good is not the same as being soft. And if you are ready to shed the chains of emotional slavery, then listen closely, because what comes next will change the way you see every relationship you have for the rest of your life. Machiavelli understood something that modern psychology refuses to admit. He wrote that men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that the deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. And he was right, because empathetic people are the easiest prey in existence. You walk through life broadcasting your emotional availability like a neon sign that says, "Come take what you want, I won't fight back." You apologize when you should stand firm. You explain yourself when you owe nothing. You feel guilty for protecting your own energy while others sleep soundly after draining you dry. The world does not reward the weak, it devours them. And empathy without boundaries is not empathy at all, it is self-destruction disguised as virtue. You have been lied to by poets and philosophers who never had to survive in the real arena where power is the only currency that matters. Let me introduce you to the principle of calculated opacity. This is the art of becoming invisible to those who would use you. In a world where everyone is desperate to be seen and understood, the person who remains opaque holds all the cards. You do not share your emotions freely. You do not reveal your next move. You do not explain your decisions to people who have no right to know your mind. The moment you become predictable, you become controllable. And the moment you become controllable, you become expendable. Stop telling everyone how you feel. Stop wearing your heart on your sleeve like a target for anyone who wants to take a shot. The most powerful people in history were those who understood that silence is not emptiness, it is strategy. Every time you open your mouth to justify yourself, you lose a piece of your power. Every time you show your emotional hand, you give someone else the keys to manipulate you. Calculated opacity means you exist in the world but you are not of it. You are a puzzle that no one can solve, and that uncertainty creates a bubble of respect around you that no amount of niceness could ever build. Now I want you to think about the last time someone disrespected you. Did you react emotionally? Did you let them see that their words landed? Did you give them the satisfaction of watching you crumble? That is the moment they marked you as weak. The moment they stored your reaction in their mental database as evidence that they have power over you. The adaptive persona is your shield against this emotional exploitation. It means you become what the situation demands and nothing more. When they expect anger, you give calm. When they expect desperation, you give detachment. When they expect vulnerability, you give cold, calculated indifference. You do not exist to be read like a book. You exist to be a closed door that only opens on your terms. This is not psychopathy. This is survival in a world that has never cared about your feelings. The person who can adapt their persona at will is the person who can never be pinned down. And the person who can never be pinned down is the person who can never be destroyed. Detachment is the secret weapon of the truly powerful. And I am not talking about emotional numbness. I am talking about strategic distance from outcomes that do not serve you. You care too much about things that do not matter. You care about what people think of you when their opinion has no impact on your reality. You care about relationships that drain you. You care about proving yourself to people who have already made up their minds to never see your worth. Empathy without detachment is a wound that never heals. Because when you feel everything deeply, you drown in the emotions of others and lose yourself in the process. The powerful understand that their emotional energy is finite and they guard it like gold. They do not waste sympathy on those who would never return it. They do not invest feeling in people who have shown themselves unworthy. And they certainly do not lose sleep over the judgments of those who add nothing to their existence. This is the cold truth that separates the masters from the victims. The world is full of takers and givers, and the givers always lose unless they learn to become givers with a fortress around their heart. You can be generous without being a doormat. You can be kind without being naive. But you cannot be empathetic without strong walls, and hope that the world will protect you is the most dangerous hope of all. Here is something that will make you uncomfortable. The people you love the most are the ones most capable of destroying you. Because they know your weaknesses. They know exactly what buttons to push to make you cave, to make you give in, to make you sacrifice your own well-being for their comfort. The greatest act of power you can perform is to silently withdraw your emotional investment from people who have proven they do not deserve it. Do not announce your departure. Do not threaten. Do not explain. Just become less available. Less reactive. Less invested. And watch how quickly the dynamic shifts. When you stop chasing, they start wondering. When you stop giving, they start questioning. When you stop caring, they start panicking. This is silent leverage, and it is the most devastating force in human relationships. It does not require confrontation. It does not require conflict. It simply requires you to redirect your emotional energy back to yourself where it belongs. The person who needs nothing from others is the person who can never be controlled. And the person who can never be controlled is the person who finally becomes free to build something real. The counterintuitive truth that will set you free is this. Your empathy is most powerful when you refuse to give it away freely. Empathy is not infinite. It is a resource, and every time you waste it on people who drain you, you are stealing from yourself. You are stealing from your future. You are stealing from the people who actually deserve your care because you are too exhausted from pouring yourself into empty vessels. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship of your soul. If you want to be truly good in this world, you must first become strong enough to protect your goodness from being weaponized against you. The most compassionate people are not those who give endlessly to everyone. They are those who have the strength to say no to the unworthy so they have something left to give to the deserving. That is the dark psychology of real power. That is the secret that the world never tells you because it benefits too much from your willingness to sacrifice yourself on the altar of other people's needs. Consider this. Every time you feel that pull to explain yourself to someone who has already made up their mind to misunderstand you, you are feeding a monster that will never be satisfied. Consider every time you feel the need to prove your worth to people who have already shown they do not value you, you are chasing a ghost that will haunt you forever. The moment you stop seeking validation from others is the moment you become the most powerful person in any room, because power does not come from being liked, it comes from being needed. And the only way to be needed is to stop being so easily available. Stop being the first to text. Stop being the first to apologize. Stop being the first to offer help when no one asked. You are not a servant. You are not a resource. You are not a tool for other people's convenience. You are a force of nature, and forces of nature do not beg for attention, they command it through their sheer undeniable presence. The Machiavellian mind understands that people are driven by their own selfish desires, and that understanding this is not cynicism, it is clarity. When you stop expecting people to be good, you stop being disappointed when they are not. When you stop believing that others care about you as much as you care about them, you stop handing them the knife to stab you in the back. This is not about becoming bitter. This is about becoming aware. The world is full of people who will smile at you while planning your downfall, and the only protection against this reality is to be more strategic than they are. You cannot outrun a predator by being prey. You can only outthink them, and that requires you to stop playing the game of emotion and start playing the game of power. Empathy is not your weakness unless you let it become your weakness. And today you are going to choose to stop letting it be the chain that binds you to a life of being used up and thrown away. So here is the challenge for you in the comments. I want you to write one word. The word is enough. That is your declaration that you are done being the victim of your own kindness. That is your commitment to becoming someone who cannot be manipulated, someone who sees the game and refuses to play it unless the rules favor you. Say enough in the comments right now and mean it with every fiber of your being, because the person you were yesterday was good, but the person you become today will be dangerous in the best possible way. You will still be good, you will just no longer be weak. You will still care, you will just no longer be careless. And you will still love, you will just no longer love at the expense of your own soul. The world does not deserve your suffering. It deserves your strength. And only when you are strong can you truly help anyone without losing yourself in the process. Remember this every day from now on. The power you seek is already inside you, waiting for you to stop being afraid of becoming what you were always meant to be. The empath who learned to use the sword. The kind person who learned to build the wall. And the good person who finally understood that being good does not mean being a target. You have the permission you have been waiting for to become unbreakable. And that is the dark truth that will set you free from the prison of your own compassion. Go and build something that cannot be torn down. Go and become someone who cannot be played. And remember that the greatest act of love you can show the world is to become so strong that no one can ever use love as a weapon against you again.